Business editor Richard Southern joins us this hour. Hi, Richard. Good to see you.
Hey, Janella.
So we know that most of the province is reopening at the end of this week, which means lots of people heading back to work. But it seems that the job outlook here in Toronto is looking pretty bleak.
Yeah, certainly according to this new report from Manpower we got in today, Janella. We know a lot of people have already, unfortunately, lost their jobs over the past 3 months. This report says there may be more of that to come here in Toronto. Manpower finds 51% of Toronto employers will maintain their current staffing levels through the balance of the year, but 29% expect cutbacks. Only 4% of Toronto employers plan to hire this year. 16% aren't sure. Janella, as far as the companies that are hiring, Manpower says it expects to be jobs like grocery store clerks, temperature checkers, but they also say IT is more and more in demand now as more of us work from home. So it's tough going out there still, no doubt, Janella.
So much is changing and people are still very much impacted. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. We're also getting some new insights into Ontario's cannabis market. I have to expect, we know we've been talking about alcohol consumption is up. What can you tell us?
Yeah, OCS, the government body that runs the cannabis, they have the stats out now for the last 12 months. And some interesting numbers here. OCS says over the past year, 35 million grams of legal cannabis were sold. However, that accounted for just 19% of the total pot smoked in Ontario, meaning the black market still supplies a whopping 81% of the cannabis smoked here in Ontario. Still cheaper to buy it on the black market. The illegal price pegged at $8.23 per gram compared to $10.84 in retail stores. The numbers show we do prefer those retail stores with much more money being sold in those 53 retail stores across the province than online. But you mentioned, stocking up on alcohol, Janella, over the lockdown, and indeed, the OCS says over the past 3 months alone, they sold $20 million worth of cannabis. So they have seen an uptick during COVID-19. Well,
we are talking about stressful times, job loss, people need to relax. So no surprise there that's what they are turning to. So moving on, restaurant patios are going to be able to reopen on Friday in much of Ontario, not here in the GTA just yet. But the big question is, are people actually going to go?
And the answer is no. Most don't want to go, according to this new Angus Reid survey that I found quite interesting that came in today, Janelle. It found 52% of Canadians will steer clear of restaurants for the foreseeable future. Only 18% plan on taking a seat on one of those patios as soon as possible. When they do venture back, the majority say they expect to see more plexiglass. 78% expect to see staff wearing PPE. Most as well say they expect menu items to be smaller in number and prices to be higher, which experts say is very likely. We're probably going to be paying more when we go back. Oh, and Janella, 12% say they expect to see mannequins occupying the seats. Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about a report out of the States about restaurants putting mannequins in the seats. It's possible we see that here in Ontario because an empty patio or an empty dining room is a hard sell for restaurateurs.
Doesn't look good, so we need those seat fillers. All right, thanks so much, Richard.